If you have not become a patron of the Geocache Talk Network, what are you waiting for? Patron levels start as low as a Bison Tube level at $3 a month. To sign up is easy. Simply go to the Geocache Talk website and click on the Become a Patron button, or go to patreon.com/Geocache Talk. Patrons now get the famous Blackout coin, invites to special events, and other really great items throughout the year. Become a patron today. Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Submit your geocaching milestones and adventures to be published. FTF Magazine is also interactive with puzzles to solve and the hunt to find Spartacus. If you can solve the puzzle or find Spartacus, then you will be entered in to win a special pack tag. Every new subscription, you will receive a special swag pack. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today.
Hello and welcome to Challenge Talk, part of the Geocache Talk Network. We broadcast live on the first Thursday of each month. Feel free to jump over to YouTube or Facebook to watch the broadcast live and join the wonderful active chat room, or listen to the entire show on your favorite podcast player.
Hi everyone. In this episode, we'll be chatting about going caching and all the challengey fun from the mega event. We also have prizes to give away each show to our listeners. Between each show, be sure to email your challenge cache finds to challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com and you could be a winner.
And later in the show, we also play our special game exclusively for our live audience, the
Wheel of Challenges. Wheel
Very nice, Geoff.
I hit it twice. Listen live, get your favorite email app ready, and follow instructions when the time comes so you can have a chance at winning the grand prize, a 1-year membership to Project GC. We are your hosts, Emily, over there, and Geoff from Cache the Line. It has been a busy week. Going caching is over, and Emily and our guest, Bloodycool, have a whole lot of stuff to talk about.
Yes, we were both at going caching this past week, but yeah, big month too.
Mm-hmm.
What have you been up to, Geoff?
Notable challenge caches.
Yes, so do you have notable challenge caches?
Yeah, I'm trying to fill out my date found year on the year grid for challenge caching, which means my calendar is filled up with specific days to find a challenge cache. So there's so many easy ones and hard ones to find, but things like let's see, there's so many travel challenge caches, like finding a cache in specific states. Mm-hmm. So I've got a whole bunch to knock off from some road trips down to the US. There's like virtuals. Finding a virtual cache in 20 states or provinces, that's a lot of traveling. One that's been bugging me for so long is the public transportation attribute FizzyGrid. There's always been one DT that I could not get. There's no caches with that specific combination with that attribute, and it was so frustrating. Finally got it, so I was able to
awesome.
Go and find and sign that cache.
Awesome. What a cool challenge. Never thought of it.
Yeah. Yeah, attribute fizzies, I think, are on their way. There's more being published now that more people are qualifying. It's a fun one to look for.
That is great. That is great.
What about you?
Well, I have found one challenge cache this month, but it comes with an amazing story. So I'm on my way home from going caching on Monday of this week. And I'm in the airport in Atlanta. And all of a sudden, my flight gets a 1-hour delay. But that 1-hour delay is enough to know that I am not going to make my connecting flight. And so the next flight to my airport was about an 8-hour layover. And so that layover was in Salt Lake City, where my mom's final destination was and where my dad lives, and was going to pick her up. And so immediately I know exactly what I'm going to do with my layover, because the last time I visited my parents, I did a park full of challenge caches. And 2 weeks after I went home, a Jasmer challenge published. So I just, had it on the plate for my next visit. I just had no idea my next visit was going to be on Monday. And it did not surprise my mom that that's what I wanted to do with my layover. And unfortunately, the layover kind of shrunk down to 4 hours with other delays, but still plenty of time to get out and get a challenge cache in Utah that I didn't think I'd get so soon.
Excellent.
Yes.
Got to make use of that time.
Best layover ever. Got some adventure labs, bonus caches. Yeah, that challenge cache. It was great.
Yeah, sounds awesome. What about you, Nels?
Yeah, I've had a good month in the past 30 days or so. Managed to hit some challenge caches over in Stockholm, Sweden. I headed over there to get Match Stash cache, of course, and they have some crazy challenges over there. Like 100 terrain 4.5 and 100 terrain 5s. One of them I think is 8 of every DT but micro-sized. I mean, some of them I didn't even bother getting, 50 in 10 countries or 50 they have some insane stuff over there. But I had a lot of fun, and I did appreciate that their lamppost cache was a little different than ours.
Yeah.
It was at the top of the lamppost, and you had to shimmy up 20 feet on the lamppost right by a busy highway. So yeah, there's some people looking at me a little weird, but hey, that's the fun of it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I remember we have one kind of like that in our area too. It's a slightly tapered lamppost, and it's literally attached at the top. So there's no ladders, no pole you can use to get it down. No, there was somebody who actually shimmied up, and I just think that's pushing it. I mean, one slip and fall, you're down. I don't know. I don't think I would ever do that. So later on, we'll highlight some other challenge caches that you, our listeners and viewers, have sent in, and someone's going to win our monthly giveaway. You can email any of your challenge caching questions and caches to challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com, and it could be featured on the show. Another little thing we love to do for every show is just review the statistics of challenge caching as according to Project GC. And every month, we like to see those numbers increase. As of this afternoon, changing from last month, there are now 6,908 active scripts. Those are the little programs that handle all of the statistic checking, and many cache listings could use the same scripts, and that's up 147 new scripts. I'm still blasted by how many new scripts are continuously written each month. Like, how many ideas could there be? It's interesting. Fun to watch.
Cool.
We have 37,972 unique challenges. That's up 397 from last month. That's individual parameter sets, so challenge concepts. There could be multiple listings, different GCs that all use the same script and the same parameter sets. So that's unique challenges. And one step higher, we have 46,496 active tags, and those are basically the individual unique GC codes, unique cache listings, and that's up 563 from last month. Bringing it back a bit, we now have the active challenge cache listings because some could get disabled, some could get archived. So if you were to do a search on geocaching.com for the challenge cache attribute, there are 32,087 active challenge caches worldwide, and that's up by 229.
Good.
I don't know how to break that. It would be interesting to break that down to see which regions of the world are super active with their challenge caching.
Definitely not mine. I was thinking today, how do I get my region more active? I think, Geoff, you definitely have a leg up on me based on where we live.
Well, I've been kind of disappointed over the last month or two. The challenge caches getting published are almost few and far between. I'm waiting for another challenge power trail. That's the thing that really kicks the numbers up.
Yeah.
Since last month, there are a couple of little news items to go over. Had to use that once.
Very good.
So the Reach the Peak souvenir challenge has reached chapter 3. We're in the third month, and they are now up to Mount Elbrus. And never heard of Mount Elbrus until
Me neither.
this challenge.
We're all
But
getting
it
a
is-
geography lesson as well with Reach the Peak.
Yeah, yeah, for
month.
sure. All these different countries. The summit is at 5,642 meters, which means that you can earn 5,642 points to reach the summit of Mount Elbrus and earn its souvenir for this month. And as we kind of predicted before it started, those point values that you earn by finding caches have changed once again. And now they have the top two ways to earn points for 750 points. You've got finding an Earth cache or finding a geocache with 10 or more favorite points.
And that makes sense because this weekend is International Earth Cache Day or weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good way to get people out finding those. And as usual, a regular find on a cache is 325 points. And you can check your stats. If you haven't yet, you can watch yourself and all of your friends on geocaching.com/play/leaderboard and compare yourself and feel really good or feel really bad.
Right?
And right
I
now
was
I'm feeling a
able
little
to-
slow.
Yeah, I was able to reach the peak on Monday, the first day of the challenge, because of that layover and going out and going geocaching. So that felt pretty good. So now I can lay low at home, protect those caches that I have few of, and be good for the month.
You don't have to stress out about trying to reach the peak anymore.
Exactly. Save that for
Because
another month.
Yeah, I'm sitting at 2,875 points, which compared to all my friends, I think it was down to 21st. That's pretty low. But Emily, you're at 7,150.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well
Have you
done.
Only
seen,
because of
what yours
vacation.
is? Nels, do you know what your score is?
I'm one Earth cache away, so the Earth cache this weekend will put me at the top.
Great.
Oh, yeah. That won't be a problem.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting an Earth cache this weekend. I can't pass that up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking to walk on the beach.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Also coming up next month, the Geocaching International Film Festival is making a big return.
Yeah.
We missed it last month or last year, and so we're finally getting it back this year, and I can't wait. I mean,
I love
if you don't know
Geoff.
what if you don't know what the film festival is, HQ every year, save last year, encourages people who love filmmaking or even just blogging, any kind of video making, to create a 5 to 7, might be 4 to 6 minute video short geocaching themed, and they choose their top 10 or 11 videos, the cream of the crop in their opinion, and put together a reel of all of these worldwide short films and send them off to everybody who decides to publish a local geocaching event to watch them. And so it's good to have that back, and it's entertaining, and everybody has the freedom and flexibility to create their event however they want. Some people get super creative.
They do. Movie theaters and all kinds of fun stuff. Right.
Yeah, and some of the vloggers will put together, well, not just vloggers, anybody will put together really extravagant visuals, like designing their venue, decking it out in a theme. I think some people have even done like dress up themes as well. You can do whatever you want. Just have a lot of fun, and it is entertaining.
It is
Every
a
year
film
there's
festival
some
for
great films.
geocachers. Everything that's specifically for geocachers is pretty amazing in my book.
And you can find all the information about that on geocachingfilmfestival.com/GIF-2021, 2021. Or you could just go to the main website and click through. But they've got the list of the finalists all on there, and you might recognize some names as well. So,
Probably.
if we get into our main topic now, I know I sadly missed going caching,
Yeah.
but I know you
Jeff,
guys
have you ever been?
shown a whole lot. I have never been to going caching.
Okay. You definitely
Not
have
yet.
to put it on your list. Nels, I think you'd agree with me. I
Absolutely.
can't necessarily say in the world, but best mega in the United States.
Best
think a
mega
lot
I've
of
ever been to.
Perfect. So many people would agree with that.
That's a high bar.
It's super true. Yeah.
Well, from what I've seen of the production of the event, like the amount of effort and teamwork that's gone into producing not only the content, but like all of the games and activities, the surrounding events, all that stuff. It's enormous. It's huge.
That's one of the first things I tell people. It is the production. And it's a production for geocachers with a theme that is carried out to every last detail. And tonight we're going to talk about the challenges that are woven into that, because it's not just, buying your swag and hanging out with people. You're actively doing things for several days with geocaching friends, old and new. It's pretty amazing. So we'll talk through those details tonight.
Yep.
And I see a lot of people in the chat who were at Going Caching or contributed in some way. So thank you all for being here. It was great to see you guys. I'll let me see. I'm going to test my picture sharing skills here. So wish me luck, everyone. But one night, I believe this was Saturday, the day of the mega, night, morning, whatever. I was driving down a road and I see someone in a Challenge Talk t-shirt. Can you see that? Let's see here. We'll add it to the stream.
Whoops, there we go.
There we go. So I got to meet Butterfly Girl because she was wearing our t-shirt. So thanks for representing in the podcast. Yeah.
That's great to see.
So, thanks to everyone who's joining us to talk about your experiences. And so I guess, Nels, let's get started. Anything you want to say about the Mega before we get into the nitty gritty of the challenges?
If you haven't been, you have to go.
Yes. Yes. And the theme that you'll see tonight, they do a different theme every event. So that 1920s theme was this year, carried over from last year that didn't get to happen, and that was a lot of fun. So you may have seen a lot of pictures of us in flapper dresses or old-timey suits and hats, and that's why we were all dressed like that. So there were several fun events every evening that we could dress up for, but the daytime kept us pretty busy with these challenges.
Yeah, and as a note, there will be a big Geocache Talk show on Sunday that's going over all the stuff on going caching. So
right.
we won't spoil too much.
Challenge. You're right. We'll try to stick to the challenges tonight, knowing that the event is over and we're just sharing an amazing experience with you guys. But you could take elements of this, get inspired. We hope this podcast inspires you in so many different ways regarding challenges. These are ideas you can take back, have a fun community event, a local event with a little touch of something we've shared today. It might be pretty darn impossible to mimic going caching, but, I think you can find some inspiration. All right, so let's start. So swag is a big part of going caching. You don't have to purchase anything, but if you purchase everything, it's really worth it. Not only are you getting really neat things, but those things are going to be what you need to complete your challenges. And so we have a going caching geocoin. And this is an interactive geocoin. So yes, it's huge. And we've got a wheel. Oh, sorry, camera. We've got this wheel on the side, and that wheel turns and you see words. And also in that like keyhole type thing, you see numbers. So we'll explain to you in a minute what those are about. So that when you pick up your package of swag, that's one of the things you get. And a huge part of going caching are trading cards. So there were 270 cards this year. Here's half the stack. I got another stack here beside me. I was fortunate enough to get a whole set before I left. That was very nice. I don't have to do any post-event trading. But some of the cards that you're going to get in your swag packages have purposes. So I'm going to share some more pictures on full sets of these cards so you can see what their purpose is. So first of all, there were 12 what they call map pieces. And I'm going to show you what that whole map looks like when you get it together. So this is called the doorways to downtown Rome. And so these puzzle pieces, when you have them separate, you can't see the full puzzles and you can't see the full set of words. And so when you get them all together, and maybe you won't get them all yourself, so this is where teamwork comes in, and you're putting pieces together that you need from friends, and then you're solving puzzles from this bigger picture. And so on this picture, there were 4 puzzles. In addition to those 4 puzzles, there are words. And so those words kind of acted like, maybe you could equate it to a letterbox. You get to a certain point for the coordinates that you solved these puzzles for, but from those coordinates, then you had to walk through these paragraphs to get you to a place. So we're solving puzzles to get chords, and then we're going to those chords and following instructions. And then once we follow those instructions, we use other cards. So Nels, I'm going to pull up those other cards. Do you have anything to say about the puzzles or these map pieces and what that's like getting these pieces?
Yeah, I think one of the great things about this event is, how interactive it is with the event, but with other cachers, because as Emily said, you may not get all 12 of those cards yourself because you get these little packs of cards, so you have to trade around for them. But even when you go out downtown, you're trying to figure out where these, 6 speakeasies were. A lot of us, I was in the wrong place many times, and many
Yes.
of the other cachers were in the wrong place many times. And we get together like, oh, do you see, where's the zebra? Where's this? Where's that? And eventually, together we'd figure it out. So there's a very large communal aspect of it. Of you don't have to worry about figuring it out yourself because you'll never have to. There's always people who are more than happy to help you on whatever the challenge, the puzzle, whatever issue you're having. Everybody just hops right in and collaborates. They might be wrong too, but you're all having fun together, so it's really good.
Yeah, and I like the fact that, like I said, the puzzles here. I mean, as geocachers, puzzles, love them or hate them, but this is a puzzle that's like a part of the event, and that's where the challenge aspect comes in. It's not like you're solving puzzles to find caches. You're solving puzzles to complete something, a fun game within the event. And
right.
I like
and
that
the
it's
game
built
has
into the
so
structure.
many steps to it. Right. So every step of the way is pretty fun. So here, these are 6 cards that you had to try to get. These cards you needed for the challenge, that Doorways of Downtown Rome challenge. You needed to have them with you to get them stamped, and we'll show you more of that later. But then once you had them stamped, you could use them for getting your group into the escape room. And that is a coveted experience of going caching. You will never see a better temporary escape room. Just really, really amazing. So here's the front of the cards. They're the characters of the Friday night stage show that the Going Caching crew puts on. Oh yeah, awesome. That's us. So this crew is beyond talented, gives a great show every year, lots of laughs. This year there was some great improvising. So well done, Going Caching crew. Pretty cool. So let me show you what the back of the cards look like. One moment. I'm not super swift with this screen sharing, so
That's fine. That's the other thing I like about this event as well, is that there's acting involved. There's a lot of people who will act roles depending on what the theme of the event is. There's like a show, there's music, there's lots of content, and the vast majority, if not all of it, is volunteer. I mean, there's pay for tickets to cover costs and everything, but I mean, it's not like it's an event that's on for profit or anything.
right.
But yeah, lots of passion in there. Love it.
All right.
And we've got a few people here who have the cards. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So This is the back of the cards. They have a little description of the characters, but what you're doing here, you can see where there's some colors and some numbers. And so that's what we were trying to do as we went around downtown. Those 4 puzzles took you to 6 locations. And at each one of those locations, again, it's always, we'll show you the next thing, because that's how step-by-step multitask this is. So once we got to these 6 locations, you're then stamping your cards with these numbers. And even there were 2 more cards that once you got those numbers, I'll just show you these real quick in my hand, you could fill in based on the color of the ink and what the number said. You fill in those numbers on these cards to get the coordinates for a bonus cache. So many layers. Again, that's what I love about this. Layer upon layer upon layer of detail and theme. Okay, so go ahead while I get my next.
I was going to say, it provides like different ways for people to access the game, however, how they feel most comfortable or how they want to play.
Right.
Right. So it's not like you have to, it's not
and
like
like
you have to play
we said,
one way.
there are
options.
people everywhere who are willing to grab you and come alongside you and make sure you have what you need. All right.
And
So I'm going to go ahead.
Being observant is helpful too, because the going caching crew likes to hide things. So they'll hide things in the program, the book, on site. So there's mystery caches around that you have to figure out. Okay, how do I get the chords? And it's not a puzzle that you have to solve. It's usually something you just have to pay attention to. And there's the little Easter eggs like that. You pay attention, you get you find another bonus cache.
Right. I certainly felt like my brain was blown because I'm just, I'm so focused in multiple directions, trading cards, getting pieces I need, solving a puzzle, watching for puzzles. It's really easy to feel like you're stretched in multiple directions, but so is everyone around you.
Now, are there caches that are not published but just for the event? Like unpublished caches that you can find that are just for the event? Or you're finding caches that are published on the map?
I would say all but one, right? Is that what you're going to say? So go for it.
Exactly. Yeah, so at least at this particular event, all but one of them was a published cache. Each year they have a pre-event puzzle. This year, usually it's a T-shirt. This year is a whole puzzle box, which was fantastic. But so the final of that one is not published. Even now yet, as far as I know, it's not published yet because they're trying to figure out how to get that puzzle into a cache page when it was a whole box. But so that one wasn't published, but it was a physical location cache there in the area to get.
Right.
Good.
But yeah, a lot of puzzle caches that are published at strategic times to match the schedule of the event.
Right.
So everything that I'm showing you right now, like I said, it's to get your ticket to the escape room, with the exception of that one bonus cache with the numbers based on the colors and the stamps. So here I'm going to show you, this is what you would encounter when you get to these coordinates. And so all of these boxes are the doorways of Rome, and you had to figure out how to get into them. And they were all inside of some businesses. In my opinion, the city of Rome is most welcoming. Everyone loved to have you in. All kinds of people tromping through all these businesses to find these boxes, and they're just so friendly about it. So we appreciate the host city as well. So that's what you encounter, and let me show you what you see. 4 circles. Let me show you what those are. Okay.
Yeah, Kitty Catch says where did it go? Oh, the door boxes were so cool.
They certainly were.
And that's just another example of like the creativity, creating the content for the event, physical stuff.
Right.
Yep, that was before it even started.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So you can see here, those are 4 path tags. And so each one of these path tags has if you know path tags, they have serial numbers on the back. You can't really see it. That's all right. But these serial numbers are ROT13. And so when you decrypt them, you get a word, which takes us back to this amazing coin. And when you look for that word as you spin it, and then in that tiny hole, you see a number. When you match the coin word to the decrypted path tag word, and then you get the number, that is what that number equals on this row of path tags. And there's a lock on the box. So there's your 4 numbers to unlock the box to get inside. And let me show you a better picture of what's
It always
inside
sounds more
those
complicated
boxes.
to explain.
It does sound more complicated. That's why I'm trying to muddle through and show you guys all of these pictures so it makes sense. And so there is what it looks like inside of the box. You can see this amazing picture of the creativity. It's like miniatures, all kinds of different rooms. So we see a bar here. There was a music room. There was a bathroom. There was, I remember one with a truck. So really neat scene once you get inside, and you can see above there's a stamp. And so that's how you get access to that stamp, to stamp your card, and you go to all 6 locations to do this, and then get your entry to the escape room. You guys probably, if you're keeping up with Geocache.net, where you probably got to see the picture of all of us who did the escape room together. So that was a lot of fun to do, have that team experience. And I believe everybody who got to the escape room would say it was amazing. Derek of Baker Six Clan did a video, or he's creating a video. So watch for that.
Yep,
We'll
on
be able
Behind
to
the
share
Cache,
a
he
lot
published
more.
it. Yeah, I believe he published it
Yeah,
today.
he published one,
stuff.
and it showed some stuff. I don't know if he's going to do a more. I guess that's a good point. I don't know if he's going to do
I'm
a more
sure
in-depth
there'll be
video
more
of the
videos to
escape
come.
room.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, but I have only ever done escape rooms at Going Caching. I've never got the chance to do
Really?
a professional one. One just came to my town, so hopefully soon. So that's all I know, and boy, is it good. We'll see how the professional one compares to Going Caching, right? So that is one of the major tracks of the challenges of Going Caching. So Nels, did I miss anything on the downtown and trading card adventure?
No, but one of the hallmarks of Going Caching is their coin, as Emily showed you, is always used in some way, shape, or form, and they use coin loosely. So here's some of the previous year's coin. This locket has an NFC chip inside of it, and you had to use the NFC chip inside the locket to undo stuff. You've got path tags and code ciphers, and so that's what they consider a coin, and the coin is always useful and always just amazingly well done. So it's just seeing what they're going to do, their creativity, the coin, you have to figure out how to use it, is all part of why this event is just so fun.
Right. The first time I heard of Going Caching, it was because someone came to my town and had an event and brought us their Going Caching coin to show. And it just was like, wait, what? There's an event that's like this and uses a coin this way? Yeah. And then the more I heard about Going Caching, I knew I had to go.
Yeah, and coin has lost all meaning these days.
Yes, exactly.
Just
right?
something minted in a shape.
With a GC code on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, so that is one challenge where, we have so many multiple pieces. You have the 12 map pieces, the 6 cards that you get stamped, the do cards with the bonuses, the path tags, and you use all that to get into an escape room. And even the escape room, you're using other things to get out. You need information in your program, your official program, to get out of the escape room. Again, layer upon layer upon layer, and it's awesome.
Now, some of these things, are they challenge in the sense that you want to be the first to get there, or is it just something that everybody can do passively and just try to finish it? Or is there
Yes.
any competition?
Everybody can do it passively. So the only thing you have is the time frame of when are these businesses open, and you want to use your cards to get into the escape room, which has an end time as well. But beyond that, no, there's no incentive to be first. And the next thing I'm going to show you as well, as long as you have a passport and you accomplish what's put forth, you will get a reward coin. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it is good. It takes pressure off of certain aspects. There's no
Some
crazy
people are always gonna
driving, no pushing. Yeah.
There's always going to be that bragging rights aspect.
Well,
Somebody's
okay, if
always
we're
gonna
going
wanna
to
be the
brag,
first,
I
but-
will say that Bounce Bounce, Baker Six Clan, and my mom and I were first to get the speakeasy open at the Foundry bar. So we'll brag on that. It doesn't mean a thing. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to show you the next thing. This is the passport that, like I said, if you have a passport in hand, you will earn a geocoin as long as you do what the passport asks you to do. So let's see here.
And that
this,
passport is... No, go ahead.
Go ahead with your question.
Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So this year it was named the Blind Frog Smugglers Run Challenge. So the Blind Frog was the speakeasy of going caching this year, and the Smugglers Run Challenge was to get alcohol that the Blind Frog needed because it ran out. And what's really neat is the stage show really draws out the entire storyline, and then so you go out and live the storyline by completing the challenge. And so we're getting all the alcohol needed to fill the speakeasy, and we saw the entire thing pan out. A story about mobsters, bad mobsters and badder mobsters, and mobsters stealing each other's alcohol and getting in trouble with each other, and all the antics that followed with that. So this is the challenge, and you can see there I have stamps. And so the stamps are all in geocaches. So these geocaches get published on Friday morning, and then some of them are letterboxes, straightforward. You've got the coordinates, you can go and get them. And there are a few multi-caches and one puzzle cache. And so based on the difficulty of the cache is what the point value of the stamp in the cache is. And so that puzzle cache with that big blind frog emblem on the truck door was worth the most points. And the bottles in the straightforward letterboxes were worth the least points. And so you could, in any combination, earn enough points to get the geocoin. You didn't have to fill up this whole passport, but I have to do everything. That is my challenge weakness. I have to do everything they set forth because somebody set it forth for us and our enjoyment. Nels, you're shaking your head. Yes. Why would you not? It is amazing. And, it seems like there's a million things to do, but I always get them all done. So go for it. Do them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's completing a goal, right? It's like it's out there. You got to finish it. You just can't leave it unfinished.
You can't leave it unfinished. Exactly. So those barrels, they were worth a few. Let me see here. Those barrels were worth, or the kegs, 10 points each because they were all on a little hike. And so they were harder than just going up to the letter boxes that were around town, and therefore worth 5 points each. Yeah. So, go ahead.
That's one of the things that I appreciate about how they do these particularly the Friday morning challenges is, they don't require you to do everything. Obviously we do if we can. But I was up with we started out at the keg caches, and there's some pretty significant elevation changes and, some steep terrain to deal with. And that, some people just can't do that. And so you can get your coin without, you can not do the 3 kegs and still get your coin.
Right.
Or if you show up, on Saturday morning or afternoon, and you only have an hour or so to get the points to get your coin, you don't have to get everything. So while completionists and people who love challenges like all of us certainly want to get everything, they give you the flexibility to cache within your ability range or time range and still be able to participate and get your coin, which I think is great.
Right.
Yeah, it's yeah, like you said, it's great that there's a variety of terrains, because I know that like some people just would not go for those either long hikes or difficult climbs and stuff, but to be able to have those easier access ones that can be fun for everybody, but allow everybody to participate at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So here is the coin that you earned. It's a blind frog icon coin, and on the back it says "Roaring Good Time" in Georgia's Rome. So, like I said, everyone with that passport who got enough points was able to get that coin. So that, compared to describing the doorways of downtown Rome and the card challenge, that one's pretty straightforward. Find caches, get stamps on a passport, go get your coin. And it's as simple as that for explaining. So the first one, very, very multi-stepped to explain, lots and lots of pieces to play with. And then this passport, simple concept.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the main challenges of going caching. Unless I forgot something. Anything I forget, Nels?
Well, the pre-event puzzle box or T-shirt for previous years, that still continues on during the event as well. They give you most of the information, but the final bits of information they hand it out on Saturday morning, and then you have to solve it on the fly and try and make it to the final. And this year was the first year I ever actually made it to the final, which was very exciting.
Oh, well done.
We almost accidentally, and with the help of Red Jeep Guy and a few other random cachers, because cachers are awesome and help each other, figured out some of the last stages. So you still have, if you like to participate in that pre-event puzzle challenge, that is also another layer of the weekend, and something that you throw into Saturday of, hey, our group needs to get together. We're going to drive around and solve puzzles on the fly, and pull out our hotel key and unlock a box that may have had a skeleton in it. And that's just another thing that's
is that where the skeleton was? I saw a picture and I thought, what did I miss? And that makes sense. That's not that one. Gotcha. No, I was extremely impressed. So I guess I take it back. When I say that I spend all weekend doing everything and I have enough time, I'm not sure I would have had enough time if I was doing the puzzle box stuff too. There were some people really dedicating the time and brain power to getting through that box because they had put so much effort into it already. They weren't going to walk away without the satisfaction. Yeah.
Yeah, an incomplete experience.
Yes, exactly.
And if you're listening and you're relatively new to geocaching, it seems like this could be a whole lot of stuff packed into one event. And one of the fun things about mega events is that it's everything related to geocaching and more, depending on who's running it. So it's like, you'll have the event, but you might have geocaches around, but in this case, there's a production value. Every mega event seems to have its own draw, something unique about it. And going caching, from what I've seen, because I haven't been to it yet, it's like production value and content is just it's packed in there. And you kind of have to prepare yourself mentally if you're going to go to one of these mega events, because it's just go all the time, and decide what you want to see and do. I think Geocache Talk had a show in the past recently about geocaching during a mega event. So how to plan for it, what to do, how to prioritize, all that kind of stuff. And so yeah, it's not geocaching isn't always just about finding geocaches.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's amazing.
Geocache said the coins you earn are so special and treasured. They're not like coins you might win or buy. You really earn them.
You really do. That's right. I have kind of a collection of, this was my third going caching. So I have a little collection of my going caching stuff. And it really is that special to keep and to look over. you have that briefcase coin with the path tags inside. You open that coin up and you get all these memories back, So very, very true.
Yep. And it's funny because there's a challenge coin is a well-known type of coin that predates geocaching. It's just great that it's called a challenge coin.
Right?
But like you could consider all of these things that you come away from an event like going caching as, winning or earning your challenge coin, as it were.
Right.
And some people have huge collections, and still nothing here from going caching.
Yeah. So I'll always tell everyone, absolutely do this event if you can. Do the entire they say you don't have to. You don't have to do all of it, which is very, very true. But if you have the chance to do all of it, you will have an amazing experience created. I'll say created just for you, because it's created for geocachers, and where else are you going to get this treatment? It's amazing.
Yeah. And oh, go ahead.
One of the benefits of this event is usually in Rome, George. It's been in Rome the past few years. I don't think they're going to move. The town loves geocachers. As Emily mentioned, there's many businesses that are involved, and they don't get involved because geocachers are going to buy stuff. There's a couple jewelry stores that we went into. Geocachers are not in there to buy jewelry.
Right. We're in there with our hikers and our backpacks and our dirty clothes in this very fine jewelry store. And they are our biggest fans.
Yeah. They're giving out refreshments and, hey, put a pin in this map, show us where you're from. They treat all the cachers great. I could hardly make it to dinner some nights because people on the street would just stop me. Tell me about geocaching.
Exactly.
It's so cool to see you guys think. So it's just such a neat environment to be in. But it also, because you're coming back, because once you go to one, you come back.
Yeah.
Some of the other caches around, you can relax a little, and it's not like, oh, I have to get every cache in Rome, Georgia because I'm never coming back. It's like, okay, I'll get some of these, this year, and next year I'll get the rest.
Right.
So it takes some of that planning, makes that a little bit easier because you don't feel overly pressured to pick up every single cache in the area you want, because you'll always be back for more.
Exactly. Yep. Georgia's starting to creep up. It is now my state with the third most fines. Maybe fourth. I'm sorry. I think maybe fourth. But yeah. Because of going to going caching. It's great.
Well, let's move along to our next segment. If you want to know more about going caching, then tune in on Sunday night to Geocache Talk. We're going to be chatting even more about that whole event. So you don't want to miss that. That's at 9 p.m. Eastern, or 8 Central, 7 Mountain, 6 Pacific, or whatever time zone you're in. You can do the calculation. So our next segment is the
Wheel of Challenges.
Very nice.
Got it going. So one live viewer each month will be selected to face off against the wheel and have a chance to win a grand prize, which is 1 year membership on Project GC. To enter, make sure you send an email with the subject "Spin Me," followed by your geocaching username in brackets and the answer to the following question. And the first person verified live on the show will get the wheel. Your profile will be checked on Project GC, and if you qualify, you will win. And so, give you a couple of seconds to load up your email program, and the question is... Ooh, I should make that a sound bit.
Yes. Don't stop now. Do all of them.
The question is... In what city does going caching annually take place? It has been mentioned a couple of times.
Several times, yes.
Yeah. So, I'm not even sure if I've been through that city. I've driven down. I've been through Georgia at one point. I haven't been to Stone Mountain. That's the oldest active multi-caches at Stone Mountain.
I wanted to get that this trip, but it just didn't happen. I decided I would have been really stressed to get to it, to get through it with the time that I had. So I just had to let that go, knowing that I will come back to going caching in the future, and I'll make a better plan to get to Stone Mountain and do that multi-cache. I did a lot of preparation. I read a lot of logs to try to eke out any clue I could get. So my clues are all ready for me for when I do get to go.
Yeah, it's not an easy one.
Yeah.
But a fantastic view from the top of the mountain. Oh. All right, well, we've got some answers coming in, and the first person to send in the correct answer is Butterfly Girl.
Woo!
And that answer, yes, is Rome in Georgia.
Rome, Georgia.
When in Rome. So, we are going to spin Butterfly Girl. I believe your spelling is correct, hopefully. So, let's spin that wheel. Is the mouse showing? It's not showing. That's fine. And get sounds. Triple Marathon Challenge.
Triple Marathon.
GC6T3JZ. What is that challenge?
Sounds tiring.
Load it up. This is a 3 difficulty challenge in Texas from Terraviators. I keep forgetting how to say it. Terraviators. Just got to go by the capital. Terraviators. Lamppost challenge is a triple marathon. Find 2 geocaches with a distance of 78.657 miles between the pair. And there is a checker. And there is a little bit of a leeway, I believe, on this one. Yeah, 528. Oh, no, that's just the cache. And I will reload this because there is a little feature that I've disabled which loads all of these additional features that you can use on geocaching.com that makes some things easier, such as, in this case, as you can see, there is a checker in the description, but with the Project GC browser add-on, there is also a little sidebar which lists all of the checkers on Project GC that are related to this particular cache code. So it's a useful thing to have, especially for those pre-moratorium challenges that don't have checkers or haven't had them added. So if we load up the Project GC checker, the challenge checker for this challenge, and scroll down to the profile name and put in, make sure I get this right, Butterfly Girl. Yep. Choose the name, run the checker. Well, she passed. She has qualified.
Well done.
There it is. And yep. So, how well did she qualify? Found 15 at the marsh. So the other thing that we don't often talk about is the output of the challenge checkers. And because there are so many script writers that create these, they may or may not make very pretty outputs.
I like the pretty ones. Some have really awesome graphics. I love the ones with graphics.
And there are some that I've seen that are just like point form bits of information that, okay, just copy that first section that says you qualified. So, congrats to Butterfly Girl. You've qualified, and we will be in contact to send you your GeoCoin.
The Project GC.
No, the Project GC membership. The GeoCoin is coming up. And so that's another full year for you. Awesome. And so the next little game that we do is for everybody who likes to complete challenges each month. And we like to highlight some of our favorites. And so every month we give a congratulatory shout out to listeners who email us proof of qualifying and logging a challenge cache since the last show. Anyone who sends an email to challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com, including the challenge cache GC code and optionally any photo or story you may want to share, for that month will be entered for the prize for, here it is, the Challenge Talk GeoCoin. Ooh,
shiny.
So we like to choose some shout outs for the show of the ones that you send in. And just to show the kind of creativity and goals that people have set within the current rule guidelines post-moratorium. I wanted to give a little bit of a highlight, first of all, to Acorn Mama, because she made a nice little sentiment here about challenge caches. Pursuing them has driven a lot of my caching days over the past year or so and taken me to many cool new places, mostly in my home state of Ohio.
Wonderful. That's what I love about challenges.
Yeah.
Right. They give a little bit of an extra goal to work on. Which brings us to our first submitted that we want to show is GC7. Where is it? No, that's the wrong one. Where is it? This one. There we are. GC31J40. That one is Captain Willie's Ohio Cemetery Challenge. And I like this one because we have cemetery challenges in Ontario, but most of them are just, finding a certain number of caches with something in the title. Ours, we have things like Reston Inn, or there's another series name. There's a couple of series names. It all depends on who creates them. But this one, the particular challenge, which is 2011 pre-moratorium, is a whole lot of different series. So in this particular challenge, you have to find 50 cemetery caches in Ohio, but they can be identified 4 ways. You have to have cemetery as part of the cache name, or I guess they have different codes that a lot of cache owners have put in their names for the series: Spirit Hunt, Spirit Quest, Past Lives, and any cache type qualifies. So I like some of these names. These are some creative cemetery.
Yeah, I can't say I've found many with spirit in the name.
Yeah,
Maybe
Spirit
that's
Hunt,
a
Spirit
regional
Quest.
use of the word.
It sounds like it could be a mini
Maybe a series. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with a bonus. If we were to look at this one, there's parking. I guess it looks like it's just along a trail, perhaps, this cache. But yeah, I thought that was kind of neat. Cemetery challenges. Some people love cemetery caches, and some don't. In my opinion, as long as they're respectful to the location and don't encourage people to do things that are unsafe or disrespectful, then...
Yeah, I agree. One of the adventure labs I found on Monday on my layover was in a cemetery, and it was amazing the amount of known history in this one cemetery. And that was just 5 stops. There's got to be more known history than that. So very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a cache in a cemetery it's actually my dad's headstone is a geocache. So can go visit him as a geocacher and get along.
That's awesome. Was he a geocacher?
He was, yeah. He joined me late in his life and ended up being pretty much the only father-son thing that we ever really did.
Oh, that is
it
nice.
Really, yeah, it was really special to me.
And where is that located?
Riverton, Wyoming, which is middle of nowhere. Not
All
a
right.
single geocacher in the town.
Well, good. I like that.
Yeah. So next up, we have one that was sent in by, I'm just going to read off the letters because I'm not sure how to say it. EACCIPI. EACCIPI. It is GC8EYZN. The 49th or 50th challenge. Can you guess what it is?
Parallels? Latitude?
Yeah, I'm pretty close. To climb the challenge, find one cache in either Alaska or Hawaii.
Oh, I didn't even go there in my brain. Gotcha.
I'm assuming it's the 49th or 50th state.
Yes, correct.
It's a simple one. You just got to find one cache. But I mean, how many people have been to Alaska or Hawaii?
A lot of times they're the last states for people, right? Alaska was my last state.
It's located in Georgia. But this is one of those that is going to sit there on people's maps, unable to log it as found and get it off there because they have to visit Alaska or Hawaii first.
And then they're going to just be dying to get out there, which is great. That's what challenges do. They get us out there. They get us on more adventures. Well done.
Yeah. I would definitely be putting this on the must find and making a plan to visit. Probably, I don't know. Would you go to Alaska or Hawaii first? That's
Alaska.
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 Yeah, it's mainland. Yeah, there's a lot. I don't know. I could go either way. Hawaii feels like more of a
I need to see the
stopover.
volcanoes in Hawaii. I haven't seen that. So that's my next trip to Hawaii, is the Big Island.
Right. Yeah, that'd be cool. We also have another one in from Bloody Cool himself, GC 5KM3B, completing 2 countries. The RM Challenge 59, or the Retired Monkey series, a whole lot of challenges. And this one just kind of blew my mind. The challenge here is to find all caches within 2 countries.
Oh, that is not
Every
where
cache.
I thought this was going.
To not, like, you have to target, like, this example is the Vatican City. It's
Okay.
considered a country, and there's
Doable.
what?
Yes.
At
yes.
least at the time of this image, there were 6 caches, 6 active caches
11
in
right
its
now.
boundaries.
10 or 11.
Awesome.
Yeah. So you can do that, or just find other. I think it'll be a lot easier for Europe because nobody's ever going to get Canada, the U.S., or Germany
right.
for that matter.
Oh my goodness. My travel bug inside of me is ready to go and do this now. I love it.
I can't even fathom. What other, like, Vatican City? What other? I guess that second picture. What country was that? Saint Martin. Is that a
Caribbean.
country?
Yeah, it's half of an island. So Saint Martin and Saint Martin are, I think, technically different countries. But yeah, Caribbean islands, because each one
That
is
would
either
be
at
good.
least one country. I did it with Aruba and Vatican. There's, I think, 42 caches in Aruba that I got this February. And then just at the mid-September, I was in Italy, and I managed to get 11 caches that look like they're in the Vatican City. Of course, some of them are, multis or mysteries or something. So they're, the physical part of it is not in the Vatican. And then one of the Earth caches was archived the day that I went to log it. So I logged it anyway because, darn it, I did the work. But yeah, so Vatican and Caribbean islands are really the go-to on that, because that's the only way you're gonna get out of it. 2 countries with less than hundreds and hundreds of caches.
Right.
Yeah. And the worst
but
part
that
is
is
once you
so
clear it up,
neat.
and if another cache gets published, no.
Exactly. I was just, I don't think there's any actual geocachers who live in Aruba, because everything there was, CO'd by people outside Aruba. And so I felt, I didn't know if it was going to happen, but I was hoping, since there are no cachers there, it's a little less likely, especially this year, that a new one would come up, and it lasted long enough for me to do this challenge. So.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I have
love
a
it.
feeling this is a challenge that would not be publishable today. I feel like it'd be so rare and so difficult to get that, or at least in Florida where it was published. Probably not.
Yeah,
Well,
the
there's a lot of
parameters are
travelers
just
in Florida.
undefinable. So
Yeah, yeah. And
always
this
changing.
It was published in 2015, but in January, which is just a few months pre-moratorium.
All right.
So it didn't fall under the current rules, current guidelines. But that was cool. And yeah, I guess he's keeping track of everybody who's got the points. Number of fines. 167. Wow, okay. Deep diving, it's a rabbit hole.
It is.
Okay, next up we have a submission from Zippertiff. It is GC7GZ05, which is the triple triple double challenge. And I just like saying that. It makes me want to get a coffee. Not a triple triple. Not a triple triple. Woo. This one is, to qualify, you need to have found 10 double digits or more of 9 triple triple different cache types other than traditionals. So that's basically, it's not, I don't think it's too hard. It's a 4.5. That can vary from region to region, but it's, basically just finding 10 caches of 9 different types other than traditional.
Cool.
And traditional is easy, but if we look up, I'm just bringing up my stats to see. There's a big dip. All those common
Right.
caches, you're going to have hundreds or thousands without a problem. But yeah, you can see that the huge dip down until you get into the more rarer ones, like events, Earth caches, virtuals, where it goes webcams. These are all few and far between. So getting down to 10 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For me, that's down to webcams. So you could get some variation with cash in, trash outs. But yeah, below that, you get things like the mega events, which are rare. Community celebrations, well, those are actually fairly common now.
Right.
But everything else is super rare. So pretty much any of these challenges that are quantities per cache type, you're going to get maybe 10 or 11 cache types that are possible, depending on the number. After that, you start planning for busy days. Mega events, when there's going to be a whole bunch of different cache types to find in a day. That one was in from ZipperTiff. Coming up next, we have one from Curious KDB. It was GC42MRC, which is GR Poker Challenge. 1 day goals. So this is, I like this one because, well, it's themed around poker, but the whole idea here is it's themed around the different styles of poker hands. So
Okay.
you have to complete all of these goals, but each of the goals is themed around, for example, a high card. You have to get a geocache beginning with A. 3 of a kind, you have to find 3 virtuals in a day. A royal flush, the big one, the special number is 5, but you've got to find in 1 day difficulty terrains ranging from 2-2 to 4-4. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different caches in 1 day, but you need each of those DTs. The straight flush is also 5. It's 5 different traditional cache containers in a day, so all 5 sizes.
Okay, like sizes.
So it's the goal is a combination of the theme of the number of cards and the style of hand.
Cool.
So I like that little bit of creativity. It is a 5 difficulty.
I always like creativity. That's when as I think about hiding more challenge caches, that's where I'm trying to see where other people have turned a very basic statistic into something that can be measured the same way, but completely styled out into a theme. I feel like I lack creativity, so I really appreciate it when others can show me these examples.
Yeah. And I actually think the full house is probably the hardest one of these ones, because I think they can be fairly common. Maybe the sizes, all 5 sizes, but to find 2 earth caches and 3 virtuals in 1 day.
Oh, yeah.
That could depend on where you live. There might be a lot of virtuals, the virtual rewards that have been recently published, but that combination in 1 day could be pretty rare.
I agree.
It's not. It doesn't seem too difficult, but I'm just thinking Ontario. Oh yeah, and just a clarification from Butterfly Girl, that score that we showed, that's how many challenges, how many retired monkey challenges they've completed.
Okay.
Not-
and there
not
are, you've
points
said there's
for
like a
challenge.
lot of those challenges. Because
Yeah,
that person had
70.
167.
Yeah, there's right around 170, I believe.
Oh, wow. So that person was almost done. Cool.
Wow. And last one, certainly not least, another one from Curious KDB, GC4CAEC. This is the Arkansas Lucky 13 Challenge. I groaned looking at the qualifications for this.
Oh, wow. All right.
13 goals to complete, all based on the number 13. You have to have found at least 13 consecutive days, caches on 13 consecutive days. You have to have found at least 13 caches on a single calendar day. You must have found a cache on the 13th day of each of the 12 months. You must have completed at least 13% of your 366-day grid, or 47 days. Not too bad yet. You must have found at least 130 caches that are not traditional caches. Any combination of multi, virtual earth, all that stuff. So that's, again, not too hard.
Not that bad.
At least 13% of your finds must be containers of size regular.
Ooh.
That's rough.
This is a guideline that is no longer allowed because you can unqualify. I like to call it that. So you have to limit your finding to regular caches to boost
Right.
your
And
percentage.
HQ doesn't want you to limit your finding. Right.
Right. It's not a quantitative qualification. If you find other stuff, you can unqualify yourself. And of regular, I mean, if you already have 20,000 finds, it's going to take forever to get that one.
Yeah. Wow.
You must have completed at least 13% of your DT grid. That's 10 grid squares. If you've got a fizzy, no problem. Your average difficulty rating must be at least 1.3.
All right. That's
That's
good.
another one. That's another ratio. If you find any caches that are below 1.5 difficulty, you're lowering your average rating.
Right.
So you've got to cut out all the 1.0 terrains to get your average up above 1.3. Same with, well, difficulty and terrain, same thing. And 1.3 isn't easy either. Unless you're just kind of doing urban caching and finding all those like one terrains and easy roadsides and stuff. If you've been doing any kind of adventurous caching or puzzle caching, it's going to take a lot to, no, the other way around. To get the scores up above
You
that.
need to do those things. Yeah.
Yeah. You must have found at least 130 a cache at least 130 miles from your home coordinates. Not too bad if you like to travel.
Exactly. Or beyond.
At least
Oh,
130.
at least. Okay.
You must have found a cache hidden by a cacher whose caching name begins with the 13th letter of the alphabet.
Well, that's a common one. That's good. Okay.
And include the GC in your log. That's fine. You must have found a cache with a name that begins with the 13th letter of the alphabet. So cache hider, cache owner, and the cache name, two different goals. And you must have found a cache with 13 in the title.
Okay.
And if you use 13, it must be within a larger number. So you can't even use 13 as a number. It has to be something like 113.
Oh.
And you do have to get all of those in order to qualify.
And who did that? Who submitted this?
This was submitted by Curious KDB.
Well done. Well done.
Hold on.
Well, I think she said this is one that has been signed but not qualified.
Oh, I see here in the
So-
chat. This was one that I didn't have, but it was at 12.9 when I got home from my trip. And so was that based on that size ratio?
I think that's there's a couple of 13%. 366 grid and
Oh.
DT grid.
Oh, she qualified, she says.
No, I qualified. Oh,
Well
qualified,
done.
not signed. It was one of the other two. Yeah, it wasn't a submission for the draw. Curious KDB
Okay.
has also already won a coin. So those are a bunch of the just a handful of the challenge caches that you've, as viewers, sent in to us, and we love to see them. We love to read your stories and all of that. Okay, no, she did both. Okay.
She did both. Want to give proper credit.
Yes. So remember to enter this for next month. Send in your email before next month's show. And the winner for this month of people who have sent in a challenge that they've completed, drumroll, is J6 Family.
Wonderful. Congratulations, J6 family.
Yay! We will be in touch because now you are going to get the GeoCoin.
Thanks.
Thank you for participating. Yes, and one final thing I'd love to just highlight on the Challenge Talk show, because it's the challenge, one of the last challenges that I published, or was published in my region, I think, before the moratorium, as in like, I believe is in days. I can't remember. There's a few, but this one took forever to get published. Working with the reviewers because it had to be reasonable and some guideline stuff. That's in a previous show, and we talked with our reviewer. It is the Iron Man Bingo Challenge, and it is your typical bingo card style challenge. And in this one, same sort of thing as what we just looked at. You have to complete a bingo line in order to qualify of any one of these goals. And they're all streak goals. So, for example, you've got to find 20 days of DT 11s in order to clear off I3. And the centerpiece, usually the easiest one, is 100 consecutive days of geocaching. And so completing or qualifying for this will take some planning. Even putting it together, I made sure that there was one that is relatively easy, and it has been the one that most people go for to qualify for the challenge. But I put forth a challenge to anybody who wants to try to complete it to finish the entire grid. And there have been a few people who have completed the entire grid and done it within the 100-day minimum. So
Super cool.
Try to wrap your head around finding all the qualifying caches and overlapping them so that you can fit all of these in within 100 days as streaks. It's just, I couldn't even.
You know what I love? I love that the people listening to us get this. They get it, that this is something that we will challenge ourselves to do. And it's crazy, and that's okay. That's who we are.
Yep. And to add fun to this, because yes, you can just qualify by getting in line. I've put forward the challenge to also complete things like not diagonals, that's obvious. Shapes like making an X, completing the X, I, H, O, and of course the full card. And so I have extended the challenge to anybody who completes the full card, that once I have the GeoCoin minted, you will win the GeoCoin. You don't have to come and sign in. You just have to qualify for the full card. So we like to watch if anybody is posting their qualifications in the details in the log history. So if you are working towards it, post a note. Let me know. Let us know, and we can follow your progress. But there's been one update, but nothing qualified just yet. There are people working towards it. So if you want to win a GeoCoin, once it's minted, it's coming. I promise it's coming. Mini Meg says he's working on this. That's great.
Yep.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Nels, have you ever said if
yet.
you're working on this or qualified or anything like that?
I generally avoid streaks of pretty much any sort. So
Right.
Yeah. And this
love
was
challenges, but this isn't one for me.
Yeah. It's pre-moratorium, and especially things like 3 days of scuba caches.
Right.
Unless you can find some place where some cache owner has been a little cheeky with their attributes. That's a big task. But I
So
have yet
that
to qualify
says
for this
that
as well.
you will accept that based on statistics and not based on.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same argument with pretty much any challenge. It's all about the stats and whether the checker can solve it or check it. So it's the spirit of the challenge.
Exactly.
Right? You can do it one way or the other. If you can live with it.
If you can live with it. Exactly.
It makes a better story if you can do it by the spirit of the challenge. For any challenge,
Absolutely.
really, right?
Absolutely.
So that is still open for everybody to work on. Yeah, so that is our show. Any other final thoughts about going caching or the challenges therein?
Go.
Exactly. Exactly. It's pretty amazing. It's full of fun, full of friends, and you combine the two, and it's a wonderful week.
One day I'm sure I'll get there. I'm not somebody who likes to dress up all that much. So
Oh, and you certainly don't
somebody will
have
make
to. Right.
There's more fun when you do.
He found every way to avoid it. So, yeah.
I didn't dress up.
And it depends on the theme as well. There are some themes
Right.
that are like, oh, yes, that'll be fun. But, oh, right. So has there been an announcement? I mean, that was mentioned earlier in the show, in the chat.
No, not
Has
yet.
there been an announcement? Not yet.
No,
So
we don't know the
and no
theme
date
for next
year.
year. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's always the first Saturday of October. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
they
no
announced the
but no
date.
theme yet. Yeah.
Goingcaching.com, I believe, is the website, so you can follow and check out there. They're on Facebook and all social media as well, and then turn on your notifications to get all of the details.
Exactly.
So, on that note, I believe we've covered everything. The next show is the first Thursday of November, which is November 4th. It's always the first Thursday of the month. And don't forget to tune in on Sunday evening. We're going to talk about everything about going caching, much more than just the games and the goals and challenges. And
Yeah, with the
I
whole
think all of
network who was there.
Yeah, all of the
Yeah.
GTN who's there is going to be on the show. And show notes will be posted shortly after this show airs in the video description, so check back shortly to look up all the details and links if there was anything that stood out for you. And on that note, thank you for watching and listening. And remember, it's not about the numbers. It's challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted.
That's right. Goals. See you later,
Thanks,
everybody.
everyone.
Thanks.